welcome to Cynthia's Garden. I'm Cynthia. I've been up already and I've watered everything in the backyard. I still need to water up here. But I made some rosemary and clove oil, hair oil for us to use, and I want to fill up my jar, so I'm about to make some more. So what I'm gonna do this morning is get some of this bad mama here. I want to make as much as I can because you never know. I mean, these plants do come back year after year, and they should, but you just never know what the next year will hold. So I like to, while it's in peak production, I'm cutting it at an angle. It's more beneficial for me, especially with multiple people in the house, to preserve and make as much as I can. So I'm going to cut enough so that I can do my tincture. I want to make the hair oil, and I also make rosemary water for our hair too. And there's multiple ways you can make the hair oil. You can make it on the stove, which I have done in the past, but I've since invested in an infuser, so I don't have to wait as long and I don't have to sit around, because when you're running after little people, you gotta be at their beck and call, and getting interrupted a lot. And so when I can, I'll try to make things easier on myself, and I will invest in gadgets. Yes, I will. I dehydrate, I freeze dry. I want to start doing my apothecary, so I'll bring you guys along for that too. I have herbs and stuff that I've already preserved over the past 2 years, so I want to go through my cabinet, catalog what I have. What I have in there is more likely freeze dried, or dehydrated, so it still should be good. If not, it is what it is. I know the shelf life can differ depending on the state that it's in. So that's why I like freeze drying, because it's supposed to hold a lot of its nutritional value. I when I was watering the back garden, I had a little harvest. So like this time of the year, like the plants may look a little rough, at least for me, because I don't have automatic watering and the sun beats down and I don't shade. I don't do all those little tricks yet that you should do. With me, it's survive. If you survive, if you make it. If you're in a pot and I can move you, I'll move you. But yeah, I still get a decent production. So I got some Jimmy Nardellos, and I have a bunch of cherry tomatoes. We aren't eating them that much right now, so what I'm gonna do is preserve my cherry tomatoes. I like to make tomato powder and put in soups and stews. That is really delicious. And pasta dishes. Because I have a lot of young people, and I do have some people that don't like to eat tomatoes raw, so when I powder it and put it in food, they'll eat it that way. Go figure. Okay, before we start the day, I'm gonna make me a cup of tea instead of a cup of coffee. I have some lemon balm, Melissa officinalis, that I went and got out the garden this morning. Some mint, and just a little bit of oregano. My little blend here. What I do is put all the herbs in there, and it has a strainer already, and put my hot water in. So as you can see, it's covered with water, hot water. Put the top on, and I'm gonna let that steep for about 8 minutes, and then I'm gonna have me a cup of tea. Okay, so while this is steeping, I'm gonna move this off the table, and I am going to clean my rosemary and get that ready for the oil. Another reason why I'm making the hair oil now, the store had a sell on olive oil, so I also got racked up because olive oil is expensive, so I just have a few bottles. It's probably best to get a big jug from Costco, Sam's, whatever. My grocery store, like I said, had these marked down, so I grabbed 2 bottles, and I'm gonna make my hair oil with it. I used the whole oil, this whole thing yesterday. This is 1 pint, 16.9. What ounces? Thing. This is my rosemary clove oil for our hair. So I want to fill the jar up. So I'm going to use, since I have one more jar left, and have all of this rosemary, I'm going to go ahead and fill this up and make another batch. Now, it's a Ecru herb machine, and it's a herb activator and infuser. This is rosemary and clove water that I made. So I did like 2 of these. So I've already gone through one. Getting ready to go through this one. So I'm gonna make another one too while I'm in the rosemary mood. um, if not, I'll do this later. As you can see, like throughout the year, you can make your stuff as long as the plant, you have access to the plant. So yeah. So let's talk about the rosemary plant. Official name, Salvia rosmarinus. So it is a perennial herb. It is a woody herb. As you can see, the stems are very woody. Very woody. So believe it or not, rosemary is in the mint family. So you got your lemon balm, you got your mint, peppermint, spearmint, chocolate mint, however many mints out there that you have access to that you may want to grow or you buy and take care of. Doesn't matter how you procure the plant. Foraged for it and propagated it. These are very easy to propagate. I've been meaning to propagate some more. And if in the right conditions, it'll stay green. See, I had that rosemary in that bed for a couple of years now. So as you can see, it took over about half of the bed, which is fine. Just like the lemon balm took over half of my other garden bed. Live and you learn, trial and error. But you know what? Everything, happy accidents, you know? I feel like I was given access to those plants for medicinal properties. I was given an abundance of it because it's necessary for me to have access to that plant. So I need to honor it by 1, enjoying its beauty, and 2, utilizing it for its medicinal properties. Rosemary, you can cook with it, roasted meats, lamb, chicken, pork, potatoes. They're good on potatoes. They're good in vegetable soups. People have made rosemary bread. You can infuse it in olive oil, vinegars, and you can make marinades with it. But keep in mind that it does have a strong, pungent flavor. It doesn't taste like mint. It is a rosemary. It's like a earthy, maybe like piney flavor. So keep that in mind when you're cooking with it. Now let's talk about the medicinal properties. It's good for memory. It may improve cognitive functions, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. So it has that rosmarinic acid in it. That's make it anti-inflammatory. You can use it as a digestive aid. You can use it in teas for bloating and help with indigestions. But you know, you can. I mean, we all have access to the internet. You can look it up if you have apothecary or herbal books or even gardening books. You know, you can do your research on these things yourself. We're just chatting. I am in no way a doctor. I am not even an herbalist. I am just a backyard gardener trying to be smart and utilize what I have access to and not always be reliant on pills or blindly taking medication for a quick fix, you know? I went to the store and I was down the hair care aisle and I saw the prices of those oils. I said, "No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I have that plant free in my yard and its efficacy is going to be a lot more stronger and better because it came from my own yarn. And plus, you have that pride of knowing that you do it. And I use this in my daughter's hair religiously. Rosemary, you can dry it naturally, so you can like get a bundle and it'll dry that way. Or you can get one of those, I have one of those too, I need to pull it out. And you name the gadget, I probably have it. One of those expandable herb drying baskets. I have one of those underneath my desk. Use it in water because I like to use the lock method on my daughter's hair, the LOC, the lock method in my daughter's hair. So I use the rosemary water, the water part that I use, that I spray in her hair every day. It's probably why her hair is so thick. That's why her hair is so thick. Plus that innocent virgin hair. I got like that 3/4 of the way full with rosemary. Clove. I'm just gonna eyeball this, maybe like a tablespoon so clove. Throw that in there. I'm pouring the olive oil in the container. If you can see what I'm doing. Put the silicone lid on. I'm gonna plug it in. And all right, plugged it in. I'm putting the top on. There are a lot of different infusers out there. There's the magic butter. There's different type of herbal or different type of infusing machines, or you don't even need a machine at all. But like I say, I'm a gadget person. Turn it on. Stuff. But like I said, this is the finished product. My rosemary oil is ready. So see, in that amount of time that I did not have to sit and watch the stove, I've weeded the garden. Should use a smaller one, but I don't know where it's at. So this is gonna have to work. Excuse background noise. Children live here, so it's not really quiet. All right. Press all that in there. Get all that out. It's kind of full.